said, do you want to be in my video?
No, go.
No, off she goes. Today I'm out here in our compost zone. We've got 3 big wooden compost bays, and I've just been working on one that is ready to use. It's mature, it's ready to go. I'll just show you. So you can see it here. It's this beautiful dark colour. This is what our compost heap looks like before it's rotted down. So we have like grass clippings and food scraps and stuff in it. I've been putting my sievings on top here. But this is what it looks like after it's rotted down. So this has taken about 8 months, maybe a year to get here. And as you can see, there's lots and lots of like woody bits in it because we put all of our garden trimmings and things in our compost. We don't tend to use the council green bin for anything except perennial weeds, which you can't break down safely at home without infecting all your compost. So looking at this begs the question, is it worth sieving your compost? That's what I've been doing here today. I've got my barrow, I've got a compost sieve. This is sometimes called a riddle. Riddle me this. And this is what you get as a result. It's really beautiful, fine textured compost. So that's really great and really ready to use. So if that's the case, if that's what I'm producing is so good, why is there the question, should you bother sieving your compost? Well, there's a few components really. One, it takes a huge amount of effort and time. It's very, very labour intensive. With a riddle that size, I can literally only do like half a shovel scoop of compost in a go. I'll show you actually. So I can get about that much on my riddle. And then you're shaking it down. It takes quite a while to go through the sieve. You have to get in there with your hands. So it's very labour intensive. The other reason I don't really enjoy sieving compost is it damages lots of the organisms that live inside of your compost, and you want your compost to be thriving with all these living things in it. If you look here, for example, this is a nice red worm that was just chilling in the compost doing its job. It's been shaken about by being on the riddle. It kills quite a lot of them, and it's just not enjoyable for me. I don't enjoy looking down at the sieve and seeing all these poor little worms who've worked really hard to produce my beautiful compost getting hurt by it. You might also find that standing in this position or even this position puts a lot of strain on your lower back. It's not very comfortable. I don't know if it's really that great exercise, it's just more on the uncomfortable end of things. So with that in mind, what are the reasons in favour of sieving your compost? Number one is that beautiful texture that we saw. It's a really good, lovely, crumbly mix. It's going to be easy for seeds to push their way through. Things like carrots, any root vegetables, you're not having to move around woody bits and so on. Number two, you know that compost is properly broken down. These are all the bits that are really full of nutrients. Whereas if we look at what remains from the sieving, this is it here. I've been putting it back into my next compost bay to break down further. It's very woody, it's very carbon heavy. It's probably not got so much in the way of easily accessible nutrients. Another reason to sieve your compost is that it's really great at catching those little bits that you don't want in there at all. And I'm talking about foreign objects, especially plastics. I'm using this as my tub for grabbing the things that shouldn't be in my compost. And what I found so far this time, weird little plastic valve thing. Elastic bands are very common because they're wrapped around produce, which you might have like a bundle of spinach in your fridge that ends up going in the compost hole. And this thing, I'm not really sure what it is. It's like a pipe, but it's not wood. It looks like a stick, but it's not wood. As well as you may find that some brands of tea bag made of plastic, no good, don't rot down. So all in all, I'd say it's really your choice whether you sieve your compost or not. Just like everything else in the garden, it depends. Do you want to put that labour in, or can you get away without doing it? You know? especially it depends what the end use of that compost is. If we're talking seedlings or like a bed of root vegetables, then yes, I would definitely sieve your compost. If you're putting it around perennial shrubs, if you're putting it in under trees or just on a general flower bed, then no, I wouldn't sieve it. I hope you found this useful in helping to decide whether to sieve your compost or not, and I'll see you next time. Bye!